views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Welcome, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. We have another fantastic show lined up for you today on BronxNet. We've got it going on. You can kick off your shoes and relax your feet if you want to. Throw your hands in the air and wave them around like you just don't care. Whatever it is, we got it going on for you, and we're going to take good care of it. So coming up on today's show, we're here from a lawyer who will share some info on how she's helping landlords meet their tenants' needs during this pandemic. Then we'll speak to an author about her latest work and about using writing as a form of therapy. Then after that, we'll spotlight a rising star in the world of music who will take us behind the scenes on the making of her latest album. And then my man Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports. And then finally, we'll take a look at a graffiti artist's most recent work that is being featured in an exhibition celebrating women in the arts. All of this and more headed your way. Keep it right here. We will hook you up right here on Open. Welcome, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'm your host, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Now, leading things off, our first guest is a lawyer, a founder, and owner of Outerbridge. It's a law firm, Outerbridge Law PC. And she's here today to highlight the services that her firm provides, including important information on affordable rent for tenants suffering during this pandemic. Now, we're going to talk to her. She's from a wonderful island, but she lives here in the States. And welcome to the show, please. Alagracia Pierre-Outerbridge. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. It's a privilege for me to be here, and I'm happy and excited to share information with the people of the Bronx, where I went to college, about landlord-tenant during COVID-19.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little bit about your background and then bring us up to date.
So I was born and raised in Haiti. I came here in the 10th grade at about age 15, purebred, really born and raised there. When I came here, we went to live in Queens, Long Island, and the story took off from there.
All right. And so then how did you get into law and everything like that?
So, I mean, it's a long story. It feels like a long time ago, but went to high school, finished high school, then went to college on a French scholarship because I was born and raised in Haiti. I was fluent. So language was really my pathway into getting, when we came here, we had very low means. So language was really my pathway into getting resources. So learned English in high school. In the last 2 years, was still learning English, first year of college. So I really banked on the French and the Creole. So I received a full scholarship. We couldn't afford college. I received a full scholarship to Manhattan College in the Bronx for French, for studying and teaching French as a student in the college. Wonderful experience. Yeah. Those were my 4 years in the Bronx, really wonderful experience. Thereafter, my French mentor, the head of the French department. I mean, it was really my people really. Language has always been a big thing. So being a lawyer comes, easy because language has always been something that I really enjoy speaking, getting points across, getting ideas across in different ways. So language really does that for me. So. Yeah. My mentor in college, the head of the French department, said, you really should go to law school. And she said, you should look at CUNY Law School. So I applied, I was waitlisted. So nothing comes easy, right? I was waitlisted for, and then the weekend before school started, that Friday, I received an email saying you have you've now been accepted. So I remember right? I remember getting on the bus.
That's a good feeling, right?
Isn't it? I remember getting on the bus and just running before 5 o'clock and running to pay my tuition for Monday morning. And all of a sudden I was in law school, and it was just like, wow, wonderful time. You know, I'm glad for city, you know, for city schools, for public schools, really made me. Then finished law school and worked for legal aid, legal services as an attorney for, you know, doing housing. Really have only done housing, landlord, tenant. So I spent a good amount of time, at least 5 years, being a legal aid, legal services attorney. So I've been on all ends of this. I have, I thereafter went into private practice representing tenants. Then I went into representing landlords in private practice. So I've really seen all sides of this, large landlords, small landlords, you know, tenants associations, co-ops, condos, really the whole gamut.
All right, so can you say for me your name and what you do in French, and tell them to come and see me? I mean.
Bien sûr. Mon nom, c'est Alagracia. Je suis une avocate qui représente les locataires et les maîtres de maison. Venez me voir. Mon téléphone, c'est le 212-364-56-12. Et puis, nous pouvons vous aider si vous avez des problèmes comme maître de maison ou comme locataire.
Yeah, and say, come and see me because I can take good care of you.
Venez nous voir, nous pouvons vous assister.
There you go. Okay, so what aspect you're dealing with the tenants and landlords, right?
Yes.
Tell us what you're working on now.
Wow, we have some very interesting cases. I can't say too much due to confidentiality, but we have all types of cases that come in. We have emotional support animal cases where landlords are saying you can't have your pet. So we come in and we save the day. No, we deal with that. We have cases where we represent large landlords as well. We represent small landlords. We represent mom and pops. We represent, you know, brownstones. We have a lot of cases about overcharges where tenants are being overcharged in rent. So we do the calculations and we fight for the overcharge to be refunded. We have cases about security deposits not being refunded, large securities, smaller securities. So we come in and we get the job done, getting the security refunded. I mean, we have the whole gamut. We have cases about repairs that are not being completed. We have cases about noise, excessive noise. We have cases about noisy neighbors, noisy construction, anything really that gets your home to be your haven. That's what we do. If you don't feel comfortable, that's I say that our logo is not our logo. Our motto really is, if it has a roof on it, we deal with it.
Yeah, and if you don't feel comfortable, come and see me, and I'll try to take care of it for you. You deal a lot with immigrants, right?
I do. So we have a branch that does immigration as well, a branch of our practice.
That's good. All right. So if somebody was to reach out to you and they had a serious problem, what's the first step that they need to know?
In terms of landlord tenant?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a great question, because the umbrella is find out what type of apartment you have, because once you know what type of apartment you have, apartments are classified in certain ways, right? Although it looks to be, you know, you live there, but legally your apartment has a status. What is the status of this apartment? Is it rent stabilized? Is it rent controlled? Is it, you know, market rate? Is it, you know, is it deregulated? Like what is this apartment, right? The gold standard is to be rent stabilized, right? If you're rent stabilized, as you may know, right? If it's usually if you're 6 or more units and built before, if the building has 6 or more units and built before 1974, and it's not a co-op or a condo, and it hasn't reached a certain threshold. Right now, the threshold is close to 2774, right? I had it written down somewhere. If it's under a certain threshold, more than 6 units built before 1974, not a co-op or a condo, you're likely rent stabilized. So the first step is, the gold standard is, am I rent stabilized? Because rent stabilization confers so many rights, right? And a lot of tenants are not being treated as rent stabilized, even though they are rent stabilized. So
how have you, go ahead. And you'll put the rest of that on your website. I'm just trying to get a couple more questions in there, maybe one more, and then they're gonna wrap me. But during the pandemic, how have people reached out for you, to you? Because I know a lot of people haven't been able to pay their rent.
Mm-hmm. So we get a lot of these questions. So the first step, or the first thing we do, right? We try not to get involved in non-payment cases because we don't think it makes sense if you're true, or if we get involved, it's limited representation. Because if you're having a problem paying the rent and it's a legit rent that's owed, then we don't think we serve you best by having you spend money on legal fees, right?
Yeah.
But our limited representation, limited scope of review is, are you rent stabilized? Is your rent even correct? Because often, and I say often, people come to us and say, I owe all this money. And then we look, they don't owe it because the rent is illegal. It's an overcharge.
Yeah.
So we
plus
look
the government has, I think the governor has put a moratorium on it or something like that.
Correct.
You don't have to pay until he put a hold on it, I guess.
He put a hold on it, yes, till May 1. Yeah. Generally till May 1, which is coming up quickly. So we're getting a lot of these calls. I mean, it gets more complicated than that, right? But the first step is, am I rent stabilized? Once you're rent stabilized, and we have a lot of ways to go, right? To see if your rent is correct, to see if you're due a refund of an overcharge. Mm-hmm. Other ways, people are coming to us also saying, something in my apartment is not working. If something is not working, you probably shouldn't be paying the entire rent. So negotiating an abatement, especially during a pandemic. Mm-hmm.
I like what you're doing. You're handling our community, and you're doing a great job, I hear. Where can we go to get more information on what you're doing?
Sure. You can give us a call. It's 212-364-5612. Our website is easy. It's outerbridgelaw.com. Our email is contact@outerbridgelaw.com or info@outerbridgelaw.com or connect@outerbridgelaw.com. Either way, you'll find us, and we're happy to help.
Alagracia Pierre-Outerbridge. Thank you. And come back again. I know we can talk all day about all the wonderful things that you're doing in our community, but they got us segmented, and I have somebody else coming up. But thank you. You're always welcome to come back, right?
Sure. I want to hear about the music.
Yeah, I'll let you hear some of the music too. But say, my house is your house.
La calle es la calle.
Oh, I'm going to try to learn that, okay? Thank you so much. We love you.
Thank you. We love you too.
Right. We'll take a break right here. We'll come back and hit you off some more, just the way you like it. Next on Open. Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Doc Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and Open. We've got it going on for you. We got a great show. Our next guest is the author of the autobiography, I Am, and she is. And she's here with us today to speak about the importance of writing as a form of therapy for those who have been victims of sexual abuse, and how she's used her own painful past to tell stories through poetry. Please welcome to the show, Amanda de Geneste. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so happy about what you do and what you are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. And we're glad you're here to share with us your story and your poetry and your book and your life. And in doing so, I'm sure it's therapy for you and the people around you. So how did you get into the whole thing? You had a background that wasn't too cool in the beginning. Tell us about it.
I was sexually abused as a young child. I must have been between the ages of, it started when I was probably about 5 or 6, and it went on for a few years. And I was sexually abused by my half brother, who is no longer with us. And it kept going on. Through my research, I've read that children who suffer child sexual abuse and molestation tend to have further incidents in regard to it if they're not given that support. And as a teenager, I was also a victim. So here I am today telling about the whole story.
So it carried on through from your childhood all the way through your teenage years?
Yes, it did.
So how much older was your half brother?
I would say about, I can't remember his age, but he was in his 20s. He was in his 20s at the time. I don't know the exact age difference, but it happened, and it happened often, where he would be around, we would be around the whole family. I had a really big family, but because he was a brother, no one suspected anything. And it's not a conversation that we had at home about kids being molested.
Yeah. How old were you at the time when it started?
I would say between the ages of 5 and 6.
Wow.
Yes.
And when did you realize that you needed to reach out to someone, or you realized that this was a problem?
Oh, I really didn't realize I needed to reach out or even thought it was a problem. It just became uncomfortable to me. And one night, my older sisters, the older part of the family, went next door to a neighbor and left me in the house with the little baby sleeping. We were both asleep on the bed. And I heard my brother whistling coming up the stairs. And because I knew what he did to me, what he kept doing to me was uncomfortable, I got up and I put the hook on the door so he wouldn't be able to get in. And he came, approached the door, knocked on the door. I didn't answer. He then went and got a knife to try and unhook the door from the crease. And all I remember is falling asleep and all that fear.
Yeah.
And when my other siblings came into the house, they were banging the door because, of course, I was in the room with the newborn baby. And they asked me when I opened the door, they were angry. And they said, well, why did you lock the door? And hence, I had the opportunity to say what was happening to me. And I told them what he was doing. So it was such a relief, though, because he was my older brother, and all that respect I had for him, all that love I had for him, I had no idea he was doing something he was not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and how did the family react to what you had told them?
They told him he was to never come back. Of course, my family used some really obscene language, and they told him he was to never come back, and he did not.
Wow. And then there was a sort of relief on your behalf, right?
Yes. I didn't realize it, but it was a sense of I can be myself. I didn't have to worry about being, if he's around, to make sure and be with the other siblings so he wouldn't get at me, which where at times he would just come over there and take his hand and say, come here, Gail, because they called me by my middle name, Abigail.
Yeah.
And he would just hold me by the hand and go walking with me. I remember incidents of him taking me into the bedroom while everyone's in the house. He's acting like he's playing with me or telling me a story or asking me to do little things, or and when he got away from eyesight view, he would take me into the bathroom or take me on the bed and do things to me that no child should be experiencing.
Yeah. Wow. And so it continued with him into your teenage years, or was there someone else?
No, he went on for a few years, and as time went by, there were other male friends that would come to the house, and I always thought it was normal because they always interfered with me. I didn't know that they did anything to anyone else. So it just kept going on and on. And
Yeah.
of course, as a child, I didn't know to say, no, I don't like what you're doing, or run to the others and say, oh, he's doing this too. And not only that, you feel ashamed. You don't know, you're not trying to be disrespectful to your elders.
Yeah.
So it went on for a while. And as a teenager, I just not knowing how to say no. As a matter of fact, I have to give some credit to Oprah Winfrey, because I looked at what I saw just by chance, one of her episodes, and she was saying, say no enough and it'll come out naturally. And I would walk around saying, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really worked. So
that helped with it. So
yes.
When did you decide to put the pen to the paper to use what you've been through as therapy in the form of a book? Just get it out of your mind, get it into a book.
Since I was a teenager, I would write these poems. Every time anything made me uncomfortable, or I got angry about anything, I would write about it. And some of those things were the thoughts of what had taken place with me during the sexually abused cycle.
Yeah.
And I would write the poems. And each time I wrote something, I would happen to go back and look to see what I wrote. And the memory would take me back there, and I would feel this relief just to put it on paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to externalize it, how to talk about it. Plus, we didn't believe in psychological help for these things back in the days. So this was my way of letting it out. It was my relief.
Amanda, do you mind sharing a piece of poetry with us?
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay. I would squeeze my legs together and just as tight shut my eyes and ask for it to be a dream. For all these touches I now despised. When daylight comes, they would speak to me as nothing ever happened, mingle with the rest of the family, sit and eat at the same table, but never a word would I say. I wanted someone to look into my eyes and know my little soul was being broken. I wanted to be saved by anyone. Speak when you are spoken to, I have always been told. This is the time to speak. This little girl who learned she should be seen and not heard is so slowly losing her soul.
My God. And you named it or entitled it I Am.
Yes.
The book is called I Am.
Yes.
How did you come up with the name?
God.
Yeah.
I continually say that publishing these poems is a journey he wanted me to take, because I never imagined I would ever become an author and publish work.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Do I see your picture on that wall back there? You got it.
Oh, yes, it's up there. It's up there.
Okay, so you're up there with the other
yes.
group of individuals who are doing great things.
Yes, thank you.
Amanda, thank you so much. Where can we go to grab more information on you and follow you?
You can visit my website, www.i-am-anda.com. You can also follow me on Facebook. I do blogs through my website. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I am Amanda de Geneste.
And the name of the book is?
I Am.
Amanda, thank you so much. May God bless you, or continue to bless you, and put a hedge of protection around you and your family.
Thank you. I pray the same for you. Thank you so much for having me and for what you're doing. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Amanda de Geneste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The book is called I Am. You can go there and get it one more time. It's at
www.i-am-anda.com.
All right. We'll take a break right here. We've got more open coming up next. Welcome back. We've got you covered like a blanket of the Doc Bob Lee. And our next guest is a singer and songwriter that's with us to speak about her latest album, Here I Am. She's with us today. Here she is, Eunice Rivers. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you here. You know, you've been singing all over the place. You've been making a whole lot of noise, social media, everywhere. You've been calling up at the different radio stations. You've been trying to promote
exactly
your product and get it out there, let people know, create that great awareness.
That's
and that's
right.
what you're supposed to do.
If I don't do it, who else will? You know, you have to be a promoter for yourself, and then just, you know, I'm a promoter by heart.
Self-promotion. So Eunice, tell us about yourself and what inspired you to start your singing career, because you have a background. You work with you still work full-time with a company.
Yes. So I've been singing all my life. I'm a preacher's kid, so I've been singing in church all of my life. You know,
hallelujah.
Thank God, right? And I'm a youth advocate. I have children's choir, you know, and I taught them every week for 25 years. And, you know, so I've been singing, born and raised in the church, born and raised singing, but I've always, I do a lot of shows. So I sing with the New York Kings of Comedy. Sometimes I sing with Mr. Cheeks. I've opened up for so many people on stage, for so many people singing cover songs. So the pandemic.
My man Talent, give a big shout out to my man Talent.
Hey, Talent is my, Talent is my mentor. He has helped me so many, you know, shows, and got me into so many places. And, you know, he's actually helped me with giving me advice on what should I sing here and there. And he's really been instrumental in me, you know, getting to where I am and opening up for so many people. But during the pandemic,
send him my love. Give him a virtual hug for me.
I definitely will. I'm gonna call him as soon as we get off. Hey, T, shout out to you. But during the pandemic, you know, I just, you know, everyone got shut down. So I decided to, I had the opportunity to be in this mini series, and I was in a mini series, and in there I needed to do a song, you know, play a song or create a song in the show. So we decided to do our own song. So Amir Beats did the beat, I did the music, and we wrote a song for this miniseries in them streets. And then after that, we thought it was a great song. People received it so well that we decided to just write an album. And it just happened like, I wrote an album, 9 songs, full lyrics, backgrounds, vocals in 1 month. And it was unbelievable. We wrote the first 4, we did an EP. And then one day I was sitting home and I wrote 3 songs in one day. And then the next day I went in the studio and recorded 5 more songs. So it was like literally a little more than a month. I had a whole album. It was just came out of nowhere. And I'm just so blessed to, have been able to sit down to do it.
Now, out of the 3, which one would you send to a radio station?
Now I would send Do You Have Some Time? I think, and also probably Counting Down to You. Those are 2 of my favorite, two that I would send to the radio.
Yeah.
Do You Have Some Time, which people love that. That was the first single. And then Counting Down to You is one that people like, But they like all of them. I can't even decide.
Oh, you know what I'm about to do, right?
What are you about to do, sir?
Ooh, let me go in my pocket here. Can you share a little piece with us of one of your favorites?
Well, okay.
Just a piece, just a snippet.
I'll share a snippet of Here I Am, because that is the title on my track, and I'll just share a snippet of that. So okay. I'm here, and I'm here to stay. It took a while for me to get here, and here I am. I ain't going nowhere. Here I am.
Bam. Just like that.
I'm here.
Snippet. Nice voice.
Thank you, Bob. You've seen me perform. I've, done live bands and live, different shows and stuff. But now it's time for me to do my own.
Yeah, I was shocked and surprised to see you at the health. What's the name of it? WellCare. Yeah.
I've been there for 10 years. That's my. I worked there for 10 years, and we're still there. I love my job. I love WellCare, and I'm not going away from there either. Yeah. But thank you so much for we had you come and host for us, and we can't wait. The pandemic just stopped so much, but once everything's opened back up and we're able to have, large gatherings, then, we should definitely get you coming back in there. And
yeah, I know the pandemic has affected a lot of artists. A lot of them sat home and they wrote songs. I got on the phone with a lot of them, and they were just said, we're not touring, we're not jumping out there, so we're just gonna sit here and get in our little personal studios and write songs. Did you do the same thing?
It's exactly what happened. As a matter of fact, if it wasn't for the pandemic, I would not have sat down to write this album, because I was too busy doing shows and stuff like that. But other people like covers. I was singing Patti LaBelle, If Only You Knew. I was singing And I Am Telling You, those type of songs, but I was singing covers. The pandemic had me stop and write my own songs. I wouldn't have
pen to the paper and let those creative juices flow. So
now I'm ready.
What was the inspiration behind the music on your latest EP or album?
So first, my mom died of COVID in April of last year, April 10th. We just celebrated her 1 year. Thank you. Her 1 year anniversary. And during the time when she was in the hospital, I was at home, and I saw somebody online playing this beautiful piano sound, so I just really wrote a quick verse to it, and I went online and I shared it online. And then that kind of woke me up, of writing, the words come, because she was so proud of me. My mother was so proud. She would come, she'd always be supportive of my singing. And I would go to her senior citizen building every month faithfully and do a concert for them. And I still am going to go once this is, over. But that was the inspiration for me, just writing at that time. And then the show came up about, I'm in the first 3 episodes of In Them Streets. And on episode 2, they needed a song, and it was about me, because I'm in the show. I'm an up and coming musician or whatever. So I said, well, we'll write the song, because we couldn't use anyone else's song. And once I wrote that song, then I just kept going. And within a month we had a whole album. It was crazy.
That's good. So let's grab what we're talking about and just send it out all over the place.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Where can we go to find out more about you? Let everybody know.
So my name is Eunice Rivers, and I'm the only one I think who used their full government name everywhere. But on Facebook is Eunice Rivers. On Twitter, Eunice Rivers 66. On Instagram, it's Eunice Rivers. It's the same, I just have Eunice Rivers. So you can find me on all, my songs are on all digital platforms, Spotify, you name it, Pandora, Apple Music. You can just search Eunice Rivers for the album is Here I Am. And, just show me some love and show me some support. And, hopefully you like the album. I think it's a good album, but, I should think that. But I think you will enjoy it. It's like I'm bringing back the old school R&B type of music,
And nothing wrong with it.
I love it. So I hope you like it.
Eunice Rivers, writer, songwriter, singer, and she does her thing. Pick up the new album. It's called
Here I Am, and I'm here to stay.
Eunice Rivers, singer, songwriter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you, and you're always welcome back. You can step into our studios and do your thing, right? We have a stage for you. But if you're into sports, stay tuned because we got Bobby C with the latest in sports and more. Check it out.
If you love the grit of the UFC, have a flair for the dramatic like the WWE, and grew up watching and playing with Transformers, we have the sport for you. BattleBots on Discovery is national and local too. It now has coverage in more than 150 countries. That means robotic combat fans across the globe can enjoy the world's largest and only professional robot fighting sport on their screens. Our guest this morning is from Staten Island, New York, and he's here to bring the pain and to tell us about one of the fastest growing sports in the world. We welcome Evan Arias to open. Evan, how are you?
Thank you. It feels good to be here. I feel great, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's so exciting to talk to you about this sport, man. We love to really encourage different types of sports here on the show and basically get a lot of different perspectives about what's going on in the world of sports.
Awesome. I like, man. I gotta admit, combat robotics is probably the best sport out. I mean, what time to be alive, right? I mean, fighting robots in an arena?
It's definitely right? 2021, Evan, no doubt about that. So, after competing for 1 year in combat robotics, you're a team captain for Team Shredded and a 250-pound robot named Pain Train. Tell us about the heavyweight combat robot that was built within a month of taping BattleBots.
Oh, man, that was the longest month of my life. I never thought I could go a month without sleep, but it happened, and it was well worth it. Within 3 weeks, we had that thing up and running. And originally, when I wrote Greg Munson, I told him, yeah, I got something ready. You have any spots? And then we said, yeah. I was like, oh man, all right. Let me see what I can do. And then, came up with the design, and we hit the ground running. Within 3 weeks, we built it, designed from ground up, welded it, had to test it out, and then drove it myself to California the week of taping.
So Paint Train has no brakes. I'm assuming fans must really love that.
Oh yeah, they love it. And then you'll have the people say robots don't have brakes, but actually some do. So yes, the Paint Train definitely does not have brakes, and that's just the team's fighting spirit. We're just head on, no matter if it's me driving, Gennady driving, or Anthony driving. The whole team shredded in your face the whole time. So that's I think the Paint Train, definitely no brakes.
You got your first BattleBots win against a fellow New York team and Team SME. How did that feel? That must have been pretty cool.
Oh, that was amazing. And fun fact, Joe Fabiani from SME is actually like a brother to me. Me and him are like this. So it was brotherly love. And right after that, we actually went out to eat to celebrate. It was really awesome. And but I would say that experience was something else. It was life-changing. I never felt pure excitement, the way that I felt in that moment when they announced. And honestly, the judge's decision is the longest time in my life as well. Oh man, I can't even tell you. It felt like hours waiting for the decision between SME. But I gotta admit, they're really solid. Like I said, they're our brother team. We actually share a lot of internals, which a lot of people don't know about. Fun stuff. But it was definitely life-changing, and I gotta admit, it made me want to go back and keep going. It's just, you can't replace that feeling. It's like surfing,
So, Evan, when did your interest in engineering and robotics begin? Because again, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are watching here on Open that maybe have never seen this sport, but again, we encourage them to check it out because it is so very cool.
I would say my interest began over a summer ago. I was sitting at home watching BattleBots. And, I rarely watch TV, so I just had something going in the background. And then BattleBots is on. I'm like, okay. And then I see Minotaur spin up, and I hear that drum for the first time. And I'm like, how? How do I do that? Because, from when I was a kid, there was no robots like that. It was nothing like that. And, to see it come back, the show the way it did, and to see a weapon and a robot designed the way it was, it sparked my interest. I'm like, how do you do that? And how can I do my own thing? I like what you did. I want to see what I could do. And that's what really got it going, just watching Minotaur kick some ass.
So, Evan, you kind of came up in the minor leagues of this series. You make your way through the Norwalk Havoc Robot League, and you win back-to-back first-place finishes. How were you able to turn your passion into success in the robot fighting world?
To be honest, it feels crazy having my passion become successful because even from the jump, we've been, just chasing the dream of just fighting. And it's crazy how that seed planted something so much more beautiful that has allowed us, that's honestly what got us into BattleBots, our recognition from climbing up in like Norwalk, as well as mass destruction. And we always go in the mindset, we're there to fight. We're never there for like the win, the victory. Because I feel like when you go in with that mindset, you're not going to get it. But if you're there to just fight, it's awesome. To me, robotics is just like surfing. It's like, you catch the wave, like win or lose, it's still fun. It doesn't even matter. So I would say just following, just keep doing our thing. It led to beautiful things.
So you've had an accelerated journey too in this process, especially this past fall. Can you summarize what the process has been like to get here?
Oh yeah. Oh man. So a lot of it is just studying. And like in the beginning phases of every robot, it's just a lot of studying. I mean, you could choose to sleep, but it comes down to studying everything, how you want to get things, and then you just come up with a design, and you don't have to stick with it. Plug and play. Because even Shredder Bro, first tournament we did, we went 1 and 2. It wasn't so hot, and we were learning things. When ESC is stuck. You don't keep running it, you're going to start a fire, stuff like that. And now, even in BattleBots, it's like the more problems that come along, it's like the more, you get to soak in and get better at that because you won't revisit that same issue. So it's really cool to see things evolve. Even Shredder Bro went from foam wheels and a single belt weapon to now we double belted, the weapon's blue. We have blue tires that have extra grip. People want to imitate us now, which feels amazing. It just the iterations and the changes and everything is just I would say just the change in robotics is the constant flow of things, because you can also like never get comfortable too. That's another thing. Like, there's just so much to it, because the second you get comfortable with a design, that's it. You got to keep adapting, because this sport is just forever evolving.
So you kind of mentioned some of the challenges of this rookie season, and even the sponsorship to get something like this off the ground. What has it been like to kind of deal with stuff that maybe the viewers at home that are watching the series don't get a chance to see?
Right. It's a lot of groundwork, especially with the sponsors. Even in the time crunch we had, it was really difficult. So one thing about this sport is that you can't be shy. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, because if not, you're not going to get too far. So you have to, tell people, hey, I got this robot, and you want to back me up or not? Cool if you do. If not, hey, you lost. And it's really about just putting in the groundwork. Everything else will come. It's like that plant the seed, it'll grow. It definitely is like that.
So why should fans at home, especially those that maybe have never watched this on TV and just learning about you and learning about your team, why should they tune in?
Oh, I can't think of why not to tune in. I mean, robots fighting. Honestly, it's cool to see people from all walks of life, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, across the globe. It's really amazing to see what all these minds, when they come together, and what humans can achieve. I'm curious to see if you took a whole bunch of these combat roboteers and told them to build a rocket, or told them you have a few months. I can't imagine the things they could do. And then you have kids, you have teens, you have adults. It just all walks of life. It's like there is just so much to soak in. Just just engineering, from an engineering standpoint, or just from if you like fighting sports, why not?
I know that in this particular series, everybody kind of plays a significant role in different aspects of the success of the team. You can probably speak a little bit more about what your strong suits are, and then also give a shout out to your teammates.
Oh, absolutely. I like to first give a shout out to my teammate Gennady, who from day one, Shredded, has been my right-hand man. We also have a former teammate, Debbie, who was really strong with us. Raul, who came with us to BattleBots, who he took a lot on for us. And then you have Anthony D'Ambrosio, which I can't talk enough about. He's really awesome. And man, that dude, he's fierce. I could see him in BattleBots with, his own robot one day, which is going to be awesome. I would love to see him evolve and, really hit the ground running. I could tell it's going to happen soon. And I also want to give a shout out to the Jackpot family. If you guys could see, I love them. Love you guys. Love the Scorpios team. And also the SME team. I love my brother team, P1, all those dudes. Especially the Ribot boys. They're awesome.
Evan, appreciate you taking the time with us this morning. Excited for the team's success, and also excited to watch another round of BattleBots, because you guys are doing big things.
Thank you. I appreciate it. We can't wait to hit the ground running again, man. It's our thing.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Doc Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. Just be relaxed, continue doing what you're doing, and I've got you covered. Our next guest is a graffiti artist, and she joins us today to share some of her latest work, Graffitera, which will be featured at the Casita Maria Center for Arts and Education as they celebrate their South Bronx Cultural Trail Festival 2021. They do it every year. They probably missed it last year. We'll find out more about that. But please welcome to the show, Olga Correa. Olga, welcome. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. Did you do it last year? Did we miss 2020?
No, I wasn't there last year. I wasn't featured.
Okay.
I don't remember if they even did it last year. I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Maybe because people weren't able to go into places. So they probably put it on hold. Right. So it's probably back. Here we are, 2021, Absolutely. The Cultural Trail Festival, 2021. Tell us a little about you. I mean, you're the Puerto Rican, South Bronx raised graffiti artist. You advocate for feminine elements and strength in your creations, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We need to empower each other. I want to feature strong women, especially Latina women or women of color. We need to have a positive image out there, even especially for young girls. And my character, I think it's even though she seems sexy, she's powerful. She's not sexualized. And I always feature her in a powerful manner because we can do anything.
Yeah. So tell us about some of the work that you've been working on the past few months.
Well, I have actually been doing a lot of commission work. Thank you very much for everyone. I think being online and being featured, I've had a lot of folks kind of hit me up, which kind of strengthens my skill set, as well as meeting so many wonderful people. Oh, goodness. And so I've been working on just more canvases, and I've actually done some more walls in New York City. So I'm really excited about that because I need.
Where can we see some of those walls?
Well, right now we're that's the thing. The turnaround is so quick, it's not even there anymore. Yeah. But I'll post, if you follow me on Instagram, I always post my upcoming events or where I'm at or what I'm doing. But yeah, that's one of the things in New York City. If you paint on a wall, I'm sure you're going to be painted over the following week because artists, change and the wall doesn't stay the same. So that's why I take a photo, post it, and most likely by the time the following week, it's not there. Yeah.
In Long Island City, they had a building that the owner said, "Hey, I'm going to tear this building down in a couple of years, but you guys can paint on it." And that whole building was. Remember that building in Long Island City?
5 Point.
Yeah, 5 Points, right? Exactly. And the art on that, when people came from all over the world to display their talents and art.
That should have been a museum. It's really sad because a lot of folks that are legends that painted in that building passed away. You can't replicate that. Yeah. Shame. It's really a shame.
Talk about some of your most recent work and what that's been like. It's been featured in the Casita, right?
Right. This is some of my recent work, as well as I stated before, I'm doing stickers.
Oh, yeah. Stickers. Yeah. Here, put one right here. Put one right here.
Right there. Here you go.
There you go.
Got you. And as well as Crash One, I love him to death. He has a gallery, Wallworks, and he also opened in the same location a store. So I have my merch. This is So Crash One, thank you. So lady,
that merch is important. You got to have your merch.
So that's what I'm working on, because that's the way to go as well. So thank you to Crash One. If you want these t-shirts, it's at Wallworks 2. That's the store. And you'll find my merch there.
Now, speak to the Graffitera. Of course, that's in Casita's house.
Yes. Featuring myself and Myth, which is 2 powerful women. And I think that it shows our similarity and our differences. We both are graffiti writers. She also paints and does murals. I have a character to my Olga. I do letters, I do characters. She does quilts and tie-dye. It's beautiful. You have to see her craftsmanship when it comes to quilts, and she takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is we love bright colors, so we mesh perfectly.
Yeah. I remember the quilts that they used to put together when AIDS first came out, and then
Yes.
they created the AIDS awareness thing, and they put all the quilts together. Is she back from that era?
I'm not quite sure. She's a whole lot younger than me, so I don't think so. But she does tie-dye, she does sweatsuits. I mean, her merch.
Wow.
And it's all handmade. So yeah, you got to check out her Instagram and her stuff. She's awesome.
To start a merch company. So you guys, both of you guys should get together since you're in the
Absolutely.
Casita Maria. What do we have to look forward to?
Podcast, actually. I was featured on Hush, and I am going to do their podcast next, which is something new. I haven't done podcast yet, which I kind of wanted to. So that's gonna be interesting and a new venture.
Let's go to your website. Where do we go?
I don't have a specific website yet. I'm still working on that. But you can link on my Facebook, Olga Correa, my name, and also on Instagram, Olga Correa /arts. And actually, if you DM me, I do commissions, and you can see my upcoming events and my prior events. So that'll keep you up to date of what I'm doing.
Olga, tell us, they got the big exhibit at the Casita Maria Center. It's from, when does it start? From when to when?
Today until August. So you have to reach out to them and set up an appointment because of COVID, we have to be distanced, and you'll have plenty of time to come visit and see my exhibit as well as Mrs. exhibit, which she does wonderful quotes.
Well, we're looking forward to it. All right.
Yes.
God bless you, and thank you. Thank you,
everyone. Thank you.
And you're always welcome to come on. Okay.
Absolutely.
We'll be watching you, and I want another sticker for this color right here.
Okay, I guess.
Olga, thank you so much for joining us. Olga Correa, the graffiti artist. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank you for being a part of the whole thing, and also thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the chooser. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day, and we'll catch you another day, another way. We love you all. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Peace.